My name is Amir Ali Alibhai. I'm a cultural worker from Vancouver, British Columbia. I think the artist is a powerful mediator between cultures because very often the values of a culture are expressed in its art. And artists, when they when we have access to artists from other cultures, we get a glimpse of the values, of the traditions, and we recognize our humanity often in the work that artists do. Well, I recall working with the First Nations community, the Squamish Nation in Vancouver, to discuss logging in some of their traditional territory and their own cultural practices. And we brought together artists from the mainstream, and we brought together artists from the Squamish Nation, and we started to involve even loggers whose lives depended on cutting down the forest, and activists, environmentalists, and we started to engage with one another through the arts, through ceremony and through ritual, and that became a very powerful model for negotiation and discussion. And so in the end it took 10 years of constant work, but after 10 years the Squamish now have control over their traditional territory. The logging is done in a more sustainable manner. And I think it's become a win-win situation for all the parties involved. And the artists were very important in that whole transaction. Well, I think the idea that we can speak to everyone all at once is not a possibility. That very often we have to work in small communities, one at a time, sometimes even with individuals, and it takes champions in order to make change in the community. It doesn't happen en masse. I also question whether or not there is indeed any more a mainstream. Particularly with internet technology and social media, what I'm starting to see are all these niches being created everywhere, and we have to be careful that these niches talk to each other. Communities of meaning. Today, Maribel used that term, and I found it very descriptive of the way networks evolve in our cities, and they're around communities of meaning. When we start to believe in the same, or we understand the meaning of something in the same way, we can start to form connections with others and to come together in networks around it.
Great, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.